Listen closely. Because after this, you won't walk the same, talk the same, or think the same. This is the point where the mask drops, the point where you stop begging the world for respect and start taking it. The moment you stop being prey and become a predator. The world doesn't reward kindness. It rewards leverage, power, control. You've been told to be nice, to wait your turn, to trust people. And where has that gotten you? Look around. The most ruthless, the most cunning, the most unapologetic. They rise, they eat first, they speak last, and they never, ever ask for permission. Here's the first truth you need to burn into your mind. People are not good by nature. They are opportunists. They are self-interested creatures wrapped in smiles and manners. That handshake, it hides a motive. That compliment, it hides a strategy. That friend who says they've got your back, they're weighing the value of holding it against the profit of stabbing it. This isn't paranoia, it's clarity. You see, the masses fear reality because reality is cold. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't reward your suffering. The game has one prize, power. And here's the cruel beauty of it. Power isn't given, it's taken. It's seized with precision, confidence, and a mind sharp enough to cut through deception like glass. If you're still here, you're already different from the rest. Most will click away because this truth burns too hot for their soft skin. But not you. You're here for the fire. You want the scars that come with becoming dangerous. You want to walk into a room and feel the air change. You want people to second-guess themselves when they look into your eyes. You want the kind of confidence that makes them hesitate before they speak to you. That's not arrogance. That's control. And if you're ready to start building it, I want you to comment, "I am untamable right now." Type it in full. No excuses, no edits. Claim it before your fear talks you out of it. This is your initiation. You either step forward or you remain in the herd. Stay with me, because by the time this is over, you will be untouchable. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a weapon. Forget what they taught you in school about believing in yourself or thinking positive. That's motivational garbage for the powerless. Dangerous confidence is forged, not felt. It's built from victories, real ones, and the ruthless removal of weakness from your life. You think Julius Caesar walked into Rome hoping people would like him? He walked in knowing no one could stop him. And if someone tried, they'd disappear from history. Here's the first law. Control perception, and you control the battlefield. Humans don't react to reality. They react to the image of reality you give them. You don't have to be the strongest, the richest, or the smartest. You just have to look untouchable long enough for people to start believing it. Machiavelli knew this. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Translation: your presence will conquer before your abilities ever need to. Walk slower, speak less. Hold eye contact like it's a blade pressed to their throat. Every pause is a reminder that you are not in a rush. Because time bends to the powerful. People will test you. They'll throw insults, subtle digs, friendly competition. That's fine. You don't swat flies with a sword. You let them buzz until they exhaust themselves. Then, when the moment comes, you strike, clean, and final. This is where most men fail. They defend themselves too soon, reveal their cards too early, and show the enemy where to stab. You'll learn to let them wonder, let them fill in the blanks with fear, and when you master this, you'll find that most battles are won before they begin, not with action, but with aura. If you understand this, if you feel the shift already, comment, "My presence is power right now." Say it so it's burned into your mind, because after this, we sharpen the blade. Warmth invites comfort. Coldness commands respect. The average man thinks kindness will protect him. But kindness without boundaries is an invitation for exploitation. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Most people misread that. It's not about cruelty for sport, it's about control. Fear freezes betrayal before it's even born. Coldness isn't absence of emotion, it's control over it. It's the discipline to let your logic speak louder than your feelings. When someone insults you, the weak bark back instantly. You look at them, and you smile like you've already planned their downfall. That moment of silence is a knife they feel in their gut. When someone tries to manipulate you with flattery, you don't melt, you nod, you say little, you let them wonder if it even touched you. That's when their game starts to crumble. Coldness turns every reaction into a choice, not a reflex, and choice is power. The cold man is dangerous because he is unreadable. The enemy can't predict his next move. Friends can't guess his real intentions. Everyone stays just unsure enough to never underestimate him. But here's the part most won't stomach. To wield coldness, you have to kill the part of yourself that needs to be understood. You have to accept being misread, disliked, even feared. And you have to like it, because coldness is a silent crown. And when you wear it long enough, you don't need to announce you're in control. They already know. If you're ready to drop your warmth like dead weight, type "I rule with silence" in the comments. And remember, silence in the right hands is louder than war drums. Most people hear cruelty and flinch. The predator hears cruelty and thinks strategy. Machiavelli never glorified senseless violence. He despised waste, but he understood something the soft will never accept. Sometimes mercy destroys you faster than an enemy's blade. Strategic cruelty is not about lashing out in rage. Rage is sloppy, predictable. It's about precision, striking in such a calculated way that the opponent never recovers, and everyone else takes the lesson without you having to repeat it. When someone tries to humiliate you in front of others, you don't respond with equal noise. You wait, you observe. And then, when their guard drops, you deliver one clean, undeniable blow that strips their status away. This is how power works. You don't punish every offense, only the ones that matter. And when you do, you make sure it's so decisive, so public, that no one doubts what happens when they cross you. History remembers rulers not for their kindness, but for the way they made betrayal expensive. In life, there are people you will have to cut off without warning. Deals you will have to walk away from mid-conversation, words you will have to deliver without blinking, even if they shatter someone else's illusions. That's not cruelty for ego, that's cruelty for order, for survival, for empire. And here's the reality. If you can't stomach being the villain in someone else's story, you'll always be the pawn in theirs. Strategic cruelty is the scalpel of the powerful, small cut, permanent effect. If you understand this, if you're ready to sharpen that blade, comment "I strike with purpose" right now. Because from here on, we move into the art of manipulating the board itself. Life isn't a battlefield, it's a chessboard. Most people play like pawns, moving in straight lines, reacting to whatever's in front of them. You're going to start playing like a king with the mind of a grandmaster. Machiavelli's brilliance wasn't just in understanding power, it was in predicting it. He saw the world as a series of moves and counter-moves, where nothing was random and every piece had a purpose. Here's the truth. Those who plan 3 moves ahead survive. Those who plan 10 moves ahead rule. Every conversation you have, every alliance you form, every piece of information you reveal, all of it must serve a purpose beyond the moment. You're not just talking, you're positioning. The fool asks, "How do I win this argument?" The strategist asks, "How do I win the war?" When someone disrespects you publicly, the pawn reacts instantly. The chess master smiles because he knows that public disrespect just gave him leverage in a bigger play, one that might unfold weeks later when no one connects the dots. Your life becomes untouchable when you stop chasing short-term victories and start setting traps in the long game. Imagine this. You give nothing away, you move pieces quietly, you let others think they're in control. But by the time they realize the pattern, it's too late. Their position is lost, their influence dissolved, and you never even raised your voice. This is what makes a Machiavellian dangerous. They see the board, not the square. They think in patterns, not moments. They know that sometimes sacrificing a pawn today secures a checkmate tomorrow. In dark psychology, this is called controlled inevitability. the ability to make someone feel like their defeat was their choice all along. And when you master this, you don't just win, you make winning look like destiny. If you're ready to think like a king, comment, "I see the whole board right now." Because next, we sharpen the skill that makes the chessboard mindset lethal, manipulation without detection. The most dangerous manipulation is the one they never see. The clumsy manipulator pushes too hard, talks too much, shows his hand before the game even starts. The master moves in silence, like a shadow across the floor, unseen, unfelt, until the outcome is already sealed. Machiavelli understood this. Control isn't about brute force. It's about guiding people to your desired conclusion while making them believe it was their idea all along. You never say, "Do this for me." You create the conditions where doing it benefits them. You give them the illusion of choice, when in reality, the path was set from the moment they engaged with you. The trick is subtlety. You don't tell someone what they want, you lead them to discover it on their own. A planted idea is 10 times stronger than an imposed one because the ego protects it as its own creation. In dark psychology, this is called covert steering. You're not yanking the wheel, you're tilting the road so they drift exactly where you need them to go. Your tools? Curiosity, silence, questions that make them reveal more than they intended, strategic compliments that lower their guard, misdirection that hides your true aim. You must be willing to wear masks, not to deceive for sport, but to survive and dominate in a world where showing your real face is often an invitation for attack. And here's the part most can't handle. True manipulation requires patience. You might spend months shaping an outcome. You might let others win small battles, knowing they're walking willingly into the trap you built. And when the moment comes, you don't have to force the victory. They hand it to you. This is power without resistance, influence without exposure, control without fingerprints. If you grasp this, if you feel that dangerous calm settling in, comment, "I control without force" right now. Because next, we're going to blend this with something even more dangerous. Emotional detachment. In war, in politics, in love, the man who can detach wins. Most people are ruled by emotion. Anger, jealousy, desperation. They act in the heat of the moment, and the moment destroys them. The Machiavellian doesn't fight emotion. He harnesses it, but never lets it steer the ship. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means nothing controls you. It's the ability to watch chaos swirl around you, to hear insults spit in your face, to see opportunities slip away, and still remain motionless, calculating. Why is this lethal? Because the one who stays calm controls the pace. They make others burn energy, reveal weaknesses, and show desperation first. You let them act on impulse, and you strike when the opening is clean. Machiavelli himself admired rulers who could smile in betrayal, nod in defeat, and still maneuver themselves back into dominance because their mind stayed unchained by the moment. Here's the truth most can't swallow. Attachment is weakness. Attachment to outcomes makes you predictable. Attachment to people makes you manipulable. Attachment to identity makes you fragile. Detachment frees you to play the long game. You're no longer desperate to win every skirmish. You can lose today if it means annihilating tomorrow. You can walk away from deals, from relationships, from entire battlefields, because you know power comes from options, not chains. Think of the cold general who retreats from a battle, not out of fear, but because he knows the next one will be on his terms. That's emotional detachment. The masses panic when they lose something. The detached man sees it as repositioning. They rage when insulted. He hears it as intelligence gathering. They cling to what's dying. He lets it burn and uses the ashes. And here's the paradox. The more you detach, the more control you have over others, because nothing terrifies the emotionally weak more than someone who is unmoved by their attempts to shake him. If you're ready to step into that level of cold control, comment, "Nothing owns me right now." Because next, we turn to the art of building alliances that serve only your empire. Power is never built alone, but it's never built on equals either. Every empire rests on a pyramid, and if you're smart, you're at the top, not crushed at the bottom. That means knowing who to trust, who to use, and who to discard without hesitation. Machiavelli warned, "Alliances are tools, not trophies. You do not collect them for sentiment, you forge them for survival, advantage, and expansion. In your rise, you will meet three types of people. The pillars, the few whose loyalty is earned and reinforced because they strengthen your base. They benefit when you benefit. Protect them, but never let them forget who the king is. The pawns, disposable assets you move to control space, carry messages, and absorb blows meant for you. They are necessary, but never dangerous. Use them often, but never empower them too much. The threats, ambitious, talented, and too smart to be ignored. They must be kept close, flattered, and watched, or eliminated when the cost of keeping them outweighs the benefit. The common man builds alliances on friendship. The Machiavellian builds them on leverage. The moment someone sees you as optional, they will act against you. The moment they see you as necessary, they will bleed for you. This is why you must never be replaceable. If you are the source of resources, information, or protection, people will serve you out of self-preservation, not just loyalty. That's the loyalty that lasts. But here's the key. Alliances are living things. They must be fed and pruned. You reward usefulness, you punish betrayal, and you do it publicly enough that others understand the cost of crossing you. Build quietly, reward strategically, replace without warning. You don't owe anyone permanence. If you understand this and you're ready to stop looking for friends and start building structures, comment, "I build empires, not friendships," right now. Because next, we forge the most intimidating weapon you'll ever carry, your reputation. In the game of power, your reputation is your armor, your weapon, and your shadow. It fights for you when you're not in the room. It destroys enemies before you even raise a hand. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince must guard himself from being despised or hated." Translation? You don't have to be loved. You have to be respected enough that no one dares test you without a damn good reason. Reputation is built on perception, not truth. The truth can be bent, buried, or forgotten, but perception can be shaped like steel in fire. The weak think reputation is built by telling people who they are. The powerful know it's built by showing again and again through action, posture, and presence. You don't declare you're dangerous. You prove it once, and the story spreads for years. Your reputation should make people think twice before speaking your name in the wrong tone. That doesn't mean you start fights. It means people believe you finish them. Here's the dark psychology of it. People rarely challenge what they assume is untouchable. So you give them a taste, one or two decisive public actions that define you. And then you let the myth grow on its own. You control the stories told about you by making sure the right stories circulate. Maybe it's how you dismantled a rival without raising your voice. Maybe it's how you walked away from a deal everyone thought you needed and came back richer. These moments become folklore in the circles that matter. But your reputation must be two-sided. One face inspires loyalty and trust among those you protect. The other face radiates quiet danger to anyone thinking of crossing you. Without both, you're either feared without allies or loved without respect. Both are fatal. Guard it like a fortress. The moment your reputation is damaged, rebuilding it is a war. Don't get caught defending lies or scrambling to fix perception. Keep your moves clean, your words few, and your power visible. And here's the most important rule: never let your enemies define you. If you let them set the narrative, you've already lost. You shape the battlefield by shaping the way people see you. Reputation is your silent bodyguard. It fights battles you'll never see and wins wars without a drop of blood. If you understand this, if you're ready to build a name that echoes in rooms you've never walked into, comment, "My name is my crown" right now, because in the final part, we put it all together. The mindset, the coldness, the strategy, the presence, and I show you how to become truly untouchable. Everything you've heard until now has been building to this. The world doesn't crown the most talented. It crowns the most prepared, the most disciplined, the most ruthless in protecting their position. To be untouchable, you must become the rare combination of vision, control, and fearlessness that no one can replace and no one dares cross. Being untouchable doesn't mean no one will try to challenge you. It means every challenge fails before it reaches you. It means threats dissolve under the weight of your preparation, your reputation, and your network. You have the mindset, the chessboard vision. You have the coldness, the weaponized detachment. You have the strategy, the alliances, the manipulation, the precision strikes. You have the reputation, the armor forged in perception. Now, you make them all work as one machine. Here's the formula. Always see the whole board. Never let daily distractions blind you to the larger power plays. Stay emotionally untouchable. Victories are sweeter when they're calculated, not desperate. Reward loyalty, punish betrayal, quickly, publicly, and with precision. Shape the myth. Make your reputation do most of your fighting. Control the pace. The fastest man on the battlefield is often the first to die. The calm man outlives them all. When you move, it's deliberate. When you speak, it's calculated. When you disappear, it's strategic. You're never fully in the light, never fully in the dark, always exactly where they least expect you. And here's the ultimate Machiavellian truth. Being untouchable is not about being perfect, it's about being inevitable. Your enemies will watch you rise knowing they can't stop it. Your allies will protect you because your strength is their shelter. And you will stand at the center of it all, calm, cold. If you're ready to claim that throne, comment, "I am untouchable" right now. Say it like you mean it, because this is the last time you'll ever see yourself as ordinary. And if this opened your eyes, if you felt the power in every word, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here, we don't just talk about power, we make you dangerous.